Ba-ba-da-ba. We're live! Hi, what's crack-a-lacking up, buddies? Jasper on set, ready to go. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? We haven't streamed in a few days now, right? I had a pretty relaxing weekend, you know? We had Easter yesterday, that was fun. We had some events going on in the VTuber community that I didn't really pay too much attention to. I was mostly concerned with Clive Himori's birthday. Wish I could have made some fan art for that in time, but I didn't have anything planned for that. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. So, we're not here to talk about the weekend, though. We're here to have some fun with some more drawing activities. I've been working since the last stream to complete a lot of the fan art that we didn't get finished last time, and all of the line art for last week's drawings is now done. So we could move on to completing those tonight, and I definitely do want to. However, another new VTuber who is yet to debut has been brought to my attention, and the design for that VTuber is so absolutely adorable. There's no way I can't not make fan art for them. So, I'm going to open up Clip Studio Paint in the background while I get this set up. So, yeah, you don't want to make the joke again? Yeah, bring some new material to this stream. It's always important. It's fine if you, like, have a reoccurring joke or something, but you gotta keep things fresh, you know? Anyway. You'll have to excuse me if I sound a little bit odd. Like I said, today's been a bit of a lazy day, so my energy levels haven't been great. So I've gone ahead and grabbed the last of my energy drinks from my supply. This one is the zero sugar one, so it tastes not great. But it does give me a good kick to the system. So I might sound a little bit out of it. But then again, I always sound out of it, so it probably doesn't make much of a difference. Alright, let's go ahead and move over to the other viewer real quick. And if it's turned on, here it is. So, the VTuber who we're going to be drawing fan art for tonight is... Pull up the name, because... I only was just brought to their attention. I only just learned about them. The one and only Ophelia Spectre. So, this VTuber, she is a ghost VTuber. She is absolutely adorable. One of the few ghosts that I know that has legs. And I would like to draw her some fan art tonight. So that's what we're going to be doing. She's debuting on the legendary date 420, which is absolutely perfect. I intend to tune in on that day if I don't have anything else going on. So we're going to try to make some fan art for this adorable ghost girl. And, you know, see how that goes. Now, you might have noticed on the stream title that I have it labeled as from start to finish, because I don't have any sketch or anything planned out for this. So we're starting from pretty much scratch tonight. Normally I have something like prepared ahead of time, unless it's specifically a sketch stream. Not tonight. We're going from beginning to end without stopping. Yeah. So prepare for a long night. let me change the BGM so that I can, because the active BGM is a little bit eh. That's a little bit better. Alright. Let's get to it. So, we first need to think of a pose for the ghost girl, for Ophelia. We're actually going to take this and just Command exit real quick and paste it into the reference layer. Now, Clipseo Paint, whenever you're setting your references on the reference layer for this thing, it does this weird thing where it makes it really small, and I don't care for that, honestly, because it makes it hard for me to see the details. I like to be able to see as much of the thing that I'm referencing as possible, so I tend to try to make it a little bit bigger afterwards. Even though, like, most people who use references don't want them getting in the way of the drawing, I just prefer it this way. It's just a personal preference myself. Now, nothing to talk about right now? That's fine. That's fine, Dad. You take some time to think about what you want to say. I'll do most of the talking for both of us. We have to think about... We first have to figure out how we want to draw... Ophelia tonight. Because I only know about her through some of her tweets on... I haven't seen pretty much any of her normal content just yet, so I'm not sure exactly how she acts, but based on her presence and appearance, she seems very nice, very happy-go-lucky, but also someone who can be a bit of a nervous wreck. I don't know. I'm making it sound like I don't know much about her at all, and that's kind of the truth. But I mean, she hasn't debuted yet, so I guess. So I feel like I can be slightly forgiven for that. I just know that I think she seems pretty nice from her Twitter page, and that she has a very cute design, and I want to support her. So yeah. All right, let's just go ahead and start making some pose sketches so that we can pick something out. So. Alright, I got a few ideas. We're gonna... Actually, we'll just leave it as that. Move on to the normal layer. That's a little bit too light blue. We could do this one pose where she has her hands clapped together and to the side that I'm trying to draw out. You have a joke? You don't need to make a joke, you know. It's not in your contract. You don't have to make a joke. You're not early or anything. You're not obligated to make one. whenever I'm trying to do a certain pose or draw a certain pose, I'll sometimes reenact the pose myself to like feel out how it should look, because I'm not looking into a mirror or anything like that. Who is yo, Dad? Who is it? Go on. Come on. Bring it. Bring it. We'll just continue drawing while he decides whether or not he wants to bring it. So the one on top would be... Okay. Alright. Feel out the poses a little bit. Even if you're not... Even if you don't have a mirror in front of you, you can usually feel out the poses if you do them yourself. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, yo mama? Yo mama? What a good, damn, you got me. You got me. Pretty sure the joke is supposed to be, you're supposed to use the name Joe, not Yo. Because, you know, Joe Mama. But, whatever. Made those hands really big. They don't need to be that big. Alright. The thing about, like, trying to draw a line of action when doing a dynamic pose is that the line of action typically follows the spine down through at least one of the legs. And it usually follows through the whole body, basically. So the line of action for... Here, I'll show it on another layer real quick. The line of action for this drawing is supposed to go sort of, like this, or something like that. No, actually, it's more like... Actually, I think I may have messed up the line of action on this. Because it's not supposed to be just one straight line. Yeah, it's sort of supposed to be like that. We can fix this up later. I'm just trying to get, like, an idea of, like, how I want to sketch, how I want to draw this, how I want to draw Ophelia here. We're actually not trying to, make a complete sketch off the bat. We're just trying to get some ideas for now. So we're going to take this one sketch and scale it down real quick. Because that's one idea in the bank. And then we're going to work on the next one. In the same place that we worked on that one. I'm drawing a little bit of a blank. Times like these, it's alright to go to the internet and find some poses to help you get some inspiration. So I'm going to do that real quick. I know one we can do. I know one we can do. The outfit I'm pretty sure the outfit is like a sailor uniform, like the typical Japanese high school uniform. Or something at least very close to that. It has the top and ribbon, but I think the dress is a little bit frillier than your typical one. Or it could just be an older version of the typical high school girl uniform. And that could explain it. She is a ghost. I have no idea how old she is. Is it listed somewhere? I don't think it is. Yeah. We'll do, we can do like a high school type pose. Like, Do ghosts see toast? Thinking. I don't think they would. So maybe not the typical high school girl eating toast or running late to school trope. Maybe not that pose. But something close to that. It's not often I do running poses, though, so... Let's see here. Well, normally you start with the head. As per usual. Some people will say don't start with the head. Because it makes it harder to proportion out the body. That's a hard disagree from me on that one. Because, like, measuring by heads is how I usually proportion my bodies out. Because most bodies, depending on how you go, are like this many heads big or tall. Another trick to making good poses is to make the shoulders and hips not parallel, but go in different directions. Because Typically, when you're leaning one way or the other, your hips move to the others. Like, your shoulders and hips move into opposite directions to balance out each other. So, and depending on, as long as they're not parallel, as long as they're running parallel to each other, you can make the poses look a lot more natural just by making sure that if you were to keep drawing a line from the direction of one to another, that they would eventually intersect. Alright, we're gonna draw her, like, she doesn't have a backpack in this reference art, but we're gonna draw her a backpack because I think it would look cute. It'd go right around here. Has anyone ever made a Dullahan VTuber, actually? I know there's a lot of, like, amazing creatures in the VTuber community. Has anyone made a Dullahan yet? Or has anyone discovered a Dullahan VTuber yet? That'd be cool. I'd love to see how they take their head off in VTube Studio. Yeah. I'm kind of iffy on the leg positioning. But I think it would be something like that. This leg would be behind the first one. I do like this pose. I just think it needs, like, a little bit more refinement. We'll stop after we get 3 poses, and we'll pick one of those 3 to work on. Normally, I would go through a lot more, but for the sake of, like, not boring the audience, we'll cut it down. Or, for, you know, sake of time, anyway. Alright, what do I want this last pose to be? Oh, she's a ghost. So she can fly, right? Maybe something like that. Maybe her hanging upside down from the ceiling. That'd be pretty cute. Wait, no, hang on. And what about... Well, I guess she's a ghost, so maybe her skirt doesn't follow the normal laws of physics. Maybe it just always stays down, whether she's flying around upside down or not. That'd be nifty to have. And respectful as a drawing. I mean... I'm just looking for some inspiration. On our good friend Google.com. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a normal pose, but then I'm just going to flip it upside down. Because that sounds a lot easier than drawing something directly upside down. I guess if you... Well, I guess, like... Most people will tell you to flip or rotate your drawing around so that you can make sure that everything looks fine and that nothing looks weird. Because if you look at something from one angle for too long, it all starts to blur together and look normal. What if you draw something that's upside down from the start? We'll make the shoulders out that way, hips out this way. What I really like about this pose that I'm making right now is that the hands won't be visible. And that's always fun, because I hate drawing hands, and no amount of practice will ever make me like it. Mr. E, welcome. Welcome to the show. We are currently in the sketch phase, planning out how we intend to draw this very cute ghost girl. And we're just about finishing up this last preliminary sketch. We have this sketch right here, which we're actually going to take and whoop. She's upside down now. Because ghost. You have that. Oh, don't move the whole layer. We have this, and we have energetic, like, running with the school backpack. And we have a torso up picture. You know nothing about drawing? That's fine. We're gonna go through this step by step. You just kind of missed the first, like, preliminary stage, which is the planning, which is probably the most boring part of it. Most people, when they're drawing, they just want to get into it. But, you know, if you want it to be good, you do have to plan this stuff out. Anyway, I think we're gonna go with this one, because I think it'd be the most fun and captures the essence of her character the best. And also, the hands are behind her back, which means I don't have to draw them. So I think that's the one we're gonna go with. We'll push these aside. Actually, we'll keep these. We'll just keep them on another layer. Save these for future use. Now, as for this one, we're going to go ahead and scale this up a little bit. And we're going to get started on actually drawing this out now. You want to... if you... Mr. E, if you have a request, you can hit me up on Twitter using my link in my description. And I'll look into it to see if it's, like, something I want to draw. I'm mostly, like... I mostly do character art more so than anything. But I'm willing to take requests for future drawing streams. But for now, we're going to focus on this. So, taking from the reference, this is the only reference image of her that I have right now. Oh, I haven't picked out a style that I want to use. Normally, whenever I'm drawing art, I try to replicate a certain style to some extent, or like try to merge another style into my own to some extent, because I don't have a definite style for my art. I'm sort of in an experimental phase, I guess, because I don't know for sure how I like to draw something. That's not too important right now. We're still in the sketching phase. If we want to, like, try to make the art look like another style, we can do that later. Okay. We'll use a thicker pencil and a darker pencil for this phase of it, and we're gonna start by sketching out the head. Ace from One Piece. I guess I could do that. I haven't really tackled any characters from actual anime yet. It's been a long time since I've ever watched anything One Piece related. I watched the American bastardization version of One Piece when it first started premiering in the US, the one that censored like everything. I have fond memories of it. But, like, looking at the version that actually exists compared to what I got, it's quite jarring. But I remember, like, only up to, like, the Cloud Kingdom saga, whatever that was. And I thought, oh, they sailed all the 7 seas and are now in the clouds themselves. Surely we must be getting close to the actual One Piece, guys. This must be the final arc. How fucking naive I was. Yeah, but no, I didn't watch any One Piece after that. I don't think I've actually finished a single one of the original big 3 shonens. I got close to finishing Bleach, but, I didn't. And I stopped watching Naruto sometime after the Shonen, was it the Shonen exam? Chunin exams, excuse me. This is just preliminary sketching. I don't need to clean up the line work. And I never even really got started on Dragon Ball Z. these days shonen is so much different than how it was back in the day. Like before, you had to sit through so much filler while the anime adaptation caught up to the whenever the anime adaptation caught up to the manga, because yeah, there's nothing left to adapt. You had to wait. Now it's like it's just seasonal, so you're still waiting, but like you don't have to deal with pointless filler BS that doesn't get mentioned ever again throughout the rest of the series. Nothing is irrelevant anymore. I'm drawing on the wrong layer, I just realized. I need to lighten that down. I know that My Hero is back in season, but I haven't watched much of it after the overhaul arc. I only watched a little bit of like the festival thing, and I didn't watch beyond that, so I'm pretty far behind on that. I might take one day this week to like catch up on it, because I have a very odd week this week as when it comes to circus work. Yeah, I watched Bleach up to the climax of the big arc, of the one really big arc that they had, the one where they fight the big bad, whatever his name is, the nerd with glasses, whatever his name was. But I never actually finished the actual fight. So I still haven't finished that show now. I don't know why I'm sketching this like this is line art. I should just be like, I shouldn't be like trying to get this as smooth as possible. I'm stuck in line art mode from the last few days of doing nothing but line art. But like we're still in the sketch phase, so it's pointless to try to make it that smooth. In fact, it's counterintuitive. Okay. checking the reference to make sure that I have my proportions right. No, don't delete the layer. We in the VTuber community, there are two types of people in the VTuber community. Those with boing boing and those without. There's no in between. And then there are like those of us who shouldn't have boing boing, but we still, but like, you know. Nothing wrong with having one or the other. I'm just saying, that's the law of nature in this community. My proportions are a little bit off here. Hang on. Okay, I think... Alright, there we go. Move that around, rotate that around. Alright. Alright, I think I got my general proportions to where I want them to be. The head's a little big. I'm gonna squeeze that down some. Yeah, that looks better. That looks more appropriate for the size. Shoulders are a little broad. I'm gonna squeeze these down a bit. Make sure the arms are visible where there should be. Alright, proportion-wise, I think this is good. I think this is... Yeah. Yeah, that should do it. Now, after drawing out how everything should look proportionally, the next step is to draw the details that'll go on the character. So, I'm gonna draw another, like, line right here. Another, like, sketch guideline for the face. Or, correction, I'm gonna do it multiple times until I get it right, and then... Alright. Alright. So next step is to do the detailed work. So bring the opacity down to that. Also bring the opacity down on this to where it's nearly invisible. We're going to go with another darker shade of blue for this one. We'll go with the mapping pen for drawing this out. I don't really use the mapping pen too much, but it's very nice, very smooth. There isn't a lot of anti-aliasing on the pixels, so it's very nice for doing line work. Actually, we should save that one for the actual line work itself. I'm just now realizing. So we'll stick with the G pen for now. Use a thicker brush, the G pen. Alright, so she's got a short hairstyle, bangs that swoop to the right, or to her left. Okay, big bow. Let's actually take that and move that over a little bit closer to it, so when we're drawing that, we can actually see what we're doing. Alright, let's start on this next layer then. So when drawing the hair, you usually want to start, have the origin point be a little bit above where your scalp is. Because your hair doesn't start on top of your scalp. That makes it look flat and like your hair is like not really there. Your hair sprouts outward and over. If you're like me, it really poofs out quite a bit. Like a lot. So we'll start by drawing the swoops from that point of origin. If you want, you can also just start from there directly and then go into it. And then you can erase the connecting lines later, because they're not really necessary. But actually, that's a bit too big. Her bangs don't go over her eyes, so we'll shorten those out a little bit. Because the eyes are going to go right around this line here. Let's start with the eyes, actually, so that we can know better where the hair's gonna go. When you're doing... A lot of people with their eye lines, they either have them... the eyes above the line or under the line. I kind of drew my line a little bit too low, so I'm kind of doing it right in the middle of it. And using it more so as like, it needs to go around there. I'm gonna zoom in. Eyes can be a little bit weird if you're, because everybody has like a different way how they draw their eyes, and everybody's eyes look different. In Ophelia's case, her eyes, the top lash is very closely connected to the bottom lash there. Okay. Yeah, that's good, I think. That's probably pretty close to how her eyes are should look. Again, this is mostly sketching, because, like, we're not trying to do line work right now, so there's no real need to be this precise or to do this much cleanup. Because we're going to do that when we actually get to the real line art itself. It's just, I'm just still kind of stuck in the mindset of everything must be neat and tidy. Because I've been doing too much goddamn line work over the last few days. That's fine, actually. I used to hate doing line art, and I still kind of do. Because, like, it can be a real pain in the butt to get the lines to do what you want them to do. But I can safely say that I've never felt so motivated to do art since I started streaming. Because, like, up until recently, it doesn't feel like the art that I've made would ever get, like, noticed. Which shouldn't be your main objective when you're making art. A lot of people will say you just need to draw if you enjoy it. And that's a big part of it too. But it's also pretty demoralizing when you can't get acknowledged for your work. Like, the whole purpose for drawing or, like, making art is for people to see it. Otherwise, it just exists in your head. You could just have it exist in your head forever, and you don't really need to visually express it. So when people don't see your work and they don't acknowledge it, and it kind of just disappears into the void, it can hurt quite a bit. Maybe not, like, all that deeply, but it kind of just makes you feel like, well, I guess nobody cares. But since I started doing art while VTubing or streaming, I've noticed a lot more people tend to notice the work that I've done. I guess it also helps that the subjects that I picked, you know, it's of people that exist on the internet and are more willing to look at the art because it involves them, which I'm more than happy to do because I really like the VTuber community and the designs that a lot of people have for themselves, and I'm more than happy to draw them. Like, there are a million pictures of anime characters out there that you can find, and I could draw them, make for fun, add them to the pile. But they wouldn't really be able to appreciate that because, well, they're not real. They're not a real person. Maybe if I'm lucky, the original creator, the original artist behind the design would look at it and say, wow, that's really cool. Thank you so much for drawing that. But, like, that's cool, but, like, I'm not getting recognition from the person that I made this for. You know what I mean? But since I started doing art for VTubers, the VTubing community at large very much appreciates the art that you put out for them. And I'm not just speaking about myself, I'm speaking, like, in general. If you draw art for a VTuber, they will acknowledge it and they will rush to hug and kiss you and tell you how amazing you are. Which is not to say that's what I'm after, but I do appreciate the kind words. And more than that, I appreciate the encouragement that it gives me to actually continue making more art. Because when you're not encouraged, or like when your art gets ignored, then it just feels like, what's the point? I don't know why, but every time I'm doing these art streams, it tends to get really... Why do I always talk about heavy stuff whenever I'm doing art streams? I need to find some more lighthearted topics for these things. Because, like, if somebody finds my streams watching my art streams, they're gonna be like, Wow, this guy is... Wow, this guy looks like he's a bunch of fun, but he sounds absolutely mentally depressed. No, but no, I'm fine. And I'm glad that, I'm glad to... all this is just to say I'm glad to be here making this art for, people that appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of freeballing right now. I really shouldn't be worrying so much about making this look nice, but I am. Hang on. This energy drink may give me a punch, but it makes my tongue feel really dry. This shit doesn't hydrate you at all. I'm gonna get something to actually hydrate me. I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. Hang on. I'm coming right there. Oh, shit. Fuck. Well, I had some drink, but then I spilled some drink. Crap. Man. Hang on. I got some more drink. It got some Snapple peach tea to help rehydrate me. But I spilled a little bit as I was coming into the room. It's fine. I was able to clean it up fine. It wasn't a big spill. It was just like a tiny bit. You know when you lose your balance with the drink in your hand and you're worried about accidentally spilling something, so you overcorrect and try to get it back into balance, but that shot back causes more drink to spill? That's what happened there. We're gonna go ahead and get back to work on this, while also maybe toning it down on all the talking a little bit. I still want to talk and like acknowledge people in the chat. It's just right now my my mouth is a little bit tired. My throat's a little bit tired. Excuse me. Let's get to it. So we drew these eyes out so we could figure out where the bangs were gonna go. So let's start with that. With hair, you typically want to go at these in one stroke. Ah. Why is this one giving me so much trouble? Don't be afraid if it's taking you a while to get one piece of hair done correctly. We're still not even past the line art stage yet, or even at the line art stage yet, so me doing it like this is just to make sure that I know what definite shape they're going to look like. So I really don't have any reason to be this precise about it. As a matter of fact, there really isn't any reason to go ahead and do the hair, now that I'm thinking about it, on this layer like this. Rather, most people would actually do the hair on the line art layer without actually putting it on detail, so... Yeah, actually, we'll save the hair for when we actually get to the line art layer. Even though that what I drew there kind of looks really good, and I hate to get rid of that. Wait, no, I went too far back. It's better to save that for when we get to line art. How do I... I'm thinking big smile for this. Yeah, something like that. Kinda creepy, but also endearingly cute. Maybe bring the, maybe bring this up a little bit, and, like, make her look a little smug. Because she's upside down right now, looking at you. Yeah, bring these lines over just a tiny bit. Yeah, I like this. I like that facial expression. It's like smug, but endearingly smug. Rotate. That. Kind of makes the, some people do the bean head, some people... I think you can define a lot of people's art styles by how they draw their heads. Normally, I don't go for this rounded bean type shape. But I think for, like, how I want to draw this, it works. So we'll draw out the details for the clothes that she's wearing. Excuse me. Why am I trying to make this line art? It's not line art, it's just... This is just more sketching. God, I'm so stuck in this... I'm so stuck in the line art rut. I need to, like, write something for myself. Like a little sticky note. To remind myself that, hey, it's not line art. It's okay if the lines aren't perfect yet. Whoops. Make sure that when you're drawing out your clothes, that you draw a little bit over your proportion layer, especially if the clothes aren't like form-fitting or anything like that. Like, you can see on Ophelia's design that she's got a little bit of wiggle room inside her own clothes, it looks like. So don't, like, make it skin tight. Draw a little bit over the proportion layer. Except for places where it might be tight, like in the chest area. This little waist belt would be tight, so put that there as it should be. And I drew her legs out on the proportion layer, but it's kind of pointless since we're going to be covering it up with a skirt. So... Oh, hey, Dad, welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. We're sketching out the clothes for Ophelia. It's a very interesting outfit because it's like the normal sailor uniforms you'll see Japanese high school girls wearing, but it feels a little bit older. Clothes can be a little bit difficult if you don't know. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, clothes can be a little bit difficult if you're not used to drawing them out. Trying to figure out how they should look is the hardest part. Especially with looser or baggier clothing, which usually has like a lot of ruffles when it's folded and bent. We'll draw the bow out. How big would that bow be, actually? It's quite big. But, like, I'm gonna generously say it's probably torso level big. And bring it all the way around to cover most of her chest. It's not like as big as Zombie Ollie's bow or ribbon, but rather big still. You have a good joke for us, Dad? What's your good joke? What's your good joke? Hang on, let me move my camera over a little bit. Because I can't really see the chat window all that well. Because my camera's kind of blocking it a little bit. There we go. That's better. If Dream has a dream, he is dreaming with himself. Big brain thoughts. You know, I see a lot of stuff about about Dream in like the Minecraft server or something or whatever on my Twitter timeline all the time. I have no idea what any of it's about. I just know that some of the people that I follow that stuff very closely. I think there's like some sort of drama around it or whatever. Alright. I think the clothes and general details for where everything goes on this art is where I need it to be. So, let's move on to everybody's favorite part of drawing, the line art. Yay, everybody clap. Everybody clap. Line art. Yay. Alright. We're actually making really good time on this. Like, it's only been an hour and a half, and we're already to the line art stage. This is probably, like, my fastest that I've worked on any drawing ever. It does help that she doesn't have a lot of, like, hard-to-draw details on her, and I appreciate that. And the fact that the pose that I've drawn means that I don't have to worry about hands, feet, or legs all that much. So I wouldn't call this a big accomplishment, but, I mean, hey, a record's a record. Alright. So let's start by making sure that we get the details for the face and eyes taken care of. I'm using the mapping pen for this part. Alright, so big brain time. What do you got for us? What do you have to share with us with big brain time? I don't address it very often, but I also apologize if it seems like it takes me a while to react to chat. There's quite a bit of latency for because my connection isn't the best, so it's to make sure that the stream is optimized in the best settings possible. Or encoded properly, anyway. When you're using a bigger brush like this, it makes it very easy to do, like, eye dots and stuff like that. How SpongeBob make fire on the water. Maybe he used Corone's secret art. Water in the fire! Why? Water in the fire! Why? Oh, not understand. I love that clip. I love that clip so much. Among the top 10 Corona clips, that's gotta be like... It's gotta be top 3. Now you know why? You live and learn. I actually don't think Corona ever figured it out herself. I just know that she was quite confused by it and then died. Someone should follow up with her, see where her research has gotten her. If she ever figured out the answer on that. But for now, it's time for some intense imagination. Bingo. It's time for some intense Control-Z ASMR. Maybe I should bring my mic over to the keyboard so you guys can hear every time I hit Control-Z on my mechanical keyboard. In full, true HD sound. Dolby Digital. Sus detected. Where do you see the sus? What's sus? Is it the look on her face? I don't know, man. You can trust that face. I would trust that face not to kill me. I'm trying to draw at weird angles that I'm not quite used to. Actually, I don't need to complete that line because that's just gonna get covered up with hair anyway. Actually, that whole top half, I don't really need to worry about. We should just focus on, like, making the hair now. So we don't actually have to worry about the top half of the head. Yeah, I think from now on, I'm not really going to bother sketching hair out unless, like, I need a very concrete idea of, like, how it's supposed to look, or if I'm just not used to the design of the hair. I think I'll just do hair in line art after I've sketched the head out. Hey, I'm watching chat. I'm watching chat because I saw something appear on the chat box, but it's not showing up for me on... let me refresh the chat real quick. I think my chat's a little bit frozen. Yeah, I think the chat's a bit frozen at the moment, but it's fine. At least it's frozen on my end. I like it when the lines end up thin towards the ends of each hair, because it's a little weird to explain, because normally when two lines hit corners, you want, like, a thickness to them, and sometimes that's also, I like when that happens, but it also implies, having the lines get thinner as it approaches the end point implies that the hair itself is getting thinner as it reaches towards the end, and that's just accurate to how it's supposed to work. So the person I'm drawing, her name is Ophelia Spectre. She's a VTuber who is yet to make her debut. She's a ghost girl, and she's really cute. And that's the main reason why I'm drawing her. If you want to learn more about her, I'll you know what, actually, let me just quickly let me just grab her Twitter handle real quick. Yeah, if you want to learn more about her, go to her Twitter handle right here. It's on screen. You can see it. Give her a follow and check her out. She's debuting on 420, so that should be fun. That's like yeah, that's Tuesday in 2 weeks. I'll also be tweeting at her with the art once it's finished. After the stream is over. She's like a dead Sayori. So just Sayori then? Ah! Oh. Oh, I'm a terrible person. It's been a while since that game, huh? Yeah. I think that... Wasn't the creator alluding to some type of sequel at some point? I wonder what happened to that. I haven't heard anything... I haven't heard, like, any big news from Dan Salvato. But maybe it's because I haven't checked his Twitter. I should check his Twitter later. Yeah, if I were a really terrible person, I would have responded to like a dead Sayori by saying something like, "Sayori? Who's Sayori? All I know is Monica. Just Monica." I hope I can find a new, like, standout, like, horror game to play on stream at some point, because I am such a little bitch when it comes to horror. And I think you'd get some very interesting sounds out of me if I ever played a horror game. Hey, Red Arts, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's alright. We're still going on for a while. We just kind of been doodling and drawing for the last 2 hours and chatting a little bit. We finished the initial sketching, proportion drawing, and detail mapping, and we're on to the line art now. This is the subject for tonight's drawing stream, and for those just joining us, there's your Twitter handle. And fun fact about tonight's stream, we're actually drawing her upside down. For those of you who have forgotten, she's upside down right now. I can't really see the next strand all that well. The hand's kind of blocking, because I'm on this one right here. I'm looking to see how this one's supposed to look. I'm going to assume it probably swerves out a little bit, so... Nope. Hang on. Lady Ophelia? Yeah, do you call her Lady Ophelia? She does have a little bit of refinement to her. But she also kind of looks like she would trip over a pebble, despite being a ghost. It's a little bit weird since, like, I actually didn't plan this out too well, because, like, my last stream was a drawing stream, and normally I like to give myself some time in between 2 streams that, so they're not, like, both exactly the same. But it just happened to work. It just happened to work out that, I really wanted to draw this character, and I had more artwork to finish anyway, so I just wanted to keep drawing. I just felt very motivated to draw, so I just did. Funny how that works, you know? Yeah, you don't see... Yeah, I think there are probably a lot of different, like, ghost or haunted type of VTubers that are out there. I mean, if you look at Anya from Hollow ID, she's like a possessed sword or something like that, I think. But this is like this is more like a traditional Spectre type ghost. Actually, after watching a little bit of Phasmophobia, not playing it myself because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream, I am bitch when it comes to horror. I was surprised that there's a lot of variants when it comes to ghosts out there. I guess not everything that's in Phasmophobia is technically a ghost, but, like, race and stuff like that. specters' race are different from each other. There's like a bazillion subcategories. Danny Phantom would have been a much different show if they covered how each type of ghost is different from one another. I drew her with a smug face because she does, despite her profile saying that she is chicken when it comes to horror games, she does kind of seem like the type of person who would smugly watch other people be chicken at horror games and be like, what scaredy cats, and then immediately falls for the jump scare herself. I don't know. I'm just pulling nonsense. I just be saying nonsense. I have no reason to believe that she would be like that. I just find that funny. Yeah. Yeah. Because horror games are scary, man. Why would I want to play a game and feel scared? I want to feel like, I want to feel like an awesome, cool guy playing video games. Escape from reality, not be reminded of how much of a wimp I am. That being said, there are some horror games out there that let you be the horror, and I think I would like to play one of those. What's that one that Gura always plays, Dead by Daylight? The one where you get to play as, like, the monster chasing a bunch of dumb survivors in a classic horror movie setting? That'd be fun. Because I may not like getting scared, but I do like scaring others. Let's see. Okay. Alright, hair's coming along nice. Yeah, I would play something like Dead by Daylight. I'd gather a bunch of friends. I would always choose to play as the monster, and then I would scare all of them, and I would laugh. I'd laugh like a madman. Make sure that you clean up your lines behind you. Story time. You did play Resident Evil 1 on my old PS1 as a kid, and I didn't know I could skip that live action intro cutscene, and I got trauma from that. Now I can just press start to skip any cutscene. Oh my god. Dude, yeah, the original Resident Evil, like, that shit was scary, man. You know, it was... I don't know if it was scarier or less scary on the GameCube, because on the one hand, the GameCube has higher resolution textures and better made models. Also, the voice acting has been redone. But on the other hand, the PS1 version does have the infamous Jill sandwich. I'd be down to play something like Resident Evil 5 with, like, a buddy. Because, like, Resident Evil 5 on your own is a terrible experience I would never wish on my worst enemy. But Resident Evil 5 with a friend is really nice, dumb fun that I would recommend to anybody. Because, like, it's not that scary at all. But it has a lot of dumb so dumb stuff. That you just can't help but have fun with it. Jill Sandwich Pog. Show some respect to the master of unlocking. Put a little respect on that Jill sandwich. Alright, there we go. That's the line. That's the line I'm looking for. Do you know what the best seasoning to a Jill sandwich is? Neither do I. I was trying to lead into another Capcom meme, but I couldn't think of one. My goals for this drawing are to finish the line art. And then possibly, if we have some time, we can like color it in. I should mention, I talked about this for the best time. I talked about this earlier, during the stream. But, I did finish the line art for all the sketches that I presented on Fan Art Friday. And I will be working to make those completely finished drawings very soon. But I just really wanted to work on this one first because I haven't really done a stream where I do a full drawing from beginning to end. And I just really liked the design and I wanted to draw it as quickly as possible. Actually, I would like to, I just thought of another, thinking about the Jill Sandwich line just made me start thinking about all the other funny Capcom lines that have been played throughout history. Because Capcom, for the longest time, did not really know how to do English voice acting at all. I don't know if, like, their Japanese dubs or Japanese casts were any better, but on top of, like, Jill Sandwich, you also had, such famous lines as Zero's, "What am I fighting for?" Or, Dante's, "I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!" And it's like, you would think from so many examples Capcom didn't know how voice acting was supposed to work, and you'd be correct. But it did make for some great memes. Maybe the real good voice acting was the memes that we made along the way. What else? I know those can be the only two big Capcom lines that were memed into oblivion. It's fine to laugh at it. They laugh at themselves for it. Alright. Nearly done with the head. Alright. The hair and head looking mad nice right now. We do need to draw the bow. That's fine. We can do that just real quick. Let me just... hang on. Take a second to stretch. Been sitting in this chair for about 2 hours now. Actually longer than that. Okay. Based on positioning, we should bring the bow back some. So we'll... how big is this bow? Goes from about there. Okay, so it's probably about half the size of her head. Alright. Drawing the bow is very basic, or drawing a bow can be very basic when it comes to, like, any one of these designs, because... well, I shouldn't say that. It can be very basic, depending on how you do it. Dun, dun, dun. There it goes. Oh, I missed some connectors. Hang on. Let me just, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's good. The bow's looking pretty good. Alright. Alright. Now we move from the head down to the body. It's been a bit quiet, so... Oh, hang on. Okay, that's fine, yeah. It's been a bit quiet, so I guess I'll take some time to talk about some plans going forward. We got the stream... We got the schedule for the streaming planned out for this week. And I do want to mention that we've been growing the Twitter account at a pretty good rate. We started last month under 50 followers, but we've since grown to have 70. I think we're at 70 now, which is kind of crazy to me, because that's quite a few people on Twitter. I know that there are numbers that go well beyond that, and my amount is just a small drop in the bucket, even compared to other VTubers of the same, following. But it is kind of nuts to think that... nut buddies. It is kind of nuts to think that so many nut buddies have come to support, the work that we do on this channel. So thank you for that. At the rate that we're going, we actually should approach 100 followers before the end of the month, if things keep up at this rate. And I don't have anything planned just yet. So I'll be taking suggestions for what to do for 100 followers soon. But I think what I'll probably end up doing is Q&As. A Q&A session for the 100 follower mark. And then after that point, I think I'll start reaching out to other VTubers to start doing collaborations with them. I have some mutuals in mind that I'd love to get the chance to play games with. And I will contact them about that when that time comes. Or I might just put out a tweet saying, hey mutuals, who's up for a game? I don't have the biggest multiplayer library on Steam right now, but you know, if I have to, I can go out and get something. Like, I know I could do that now and probably be no different, but I feel like, you know, 100 followers is a good milestone to really feel like, hey, enough people like what I put out that I could do this and feel confident saying, yeah, people like watching and stuff like that. You shouldn't use followers or numbers like that to really determine your success rate or anything like that. You should just, I prefer to look at it as like, this is the amount of people who like my stuff enough to at least pay attention. And 100 people, that's nothing to sneeze at. Sure, it's not a lot compared to, say, to any like one Hololive member, but that's a full crowd of people, man. I can't even imagine 100 people in real life. And you know, it's just, yeah. And knowing that 100 people would be out there supporting what I'm doing and wanting to see me do more of it would give me some, is a good confidence boost, you know? Sorry, I didn't mean for my voice to crack there. Either I want to, I'll either, what am I trying to say here? The only other, like, big thing, aside from just a high number of followers, would be having a specific person that you really admire and think is really cool and awesome, decide to follow you. And which is, it's crazy if that happens, man. Because I can think of quite a few people that I would lose my shit over if I woke up one morning and saw that they followed me on Twitter. Anyway, I was talking about my plans going forward. So yeah, at the 100 follower mark, I'll do something to celebrate it, and then I will also start reaching out for collaborations. As for other plans and stuff like that, I have a few games in stuff that I want to continue streaming. I streamed Monster Hunter Rise last week, and it wasn't so great because I was slightly intoxicated and very impatient with getting around to, like, you know, fighting the big monsters and stuff. And we ended up, you know, stopping the stream before we even fought one big monster. And I'm upset by that personally myself. As I'm sure anyone who would watch anyone who watched the VOD of that stream or watched the stream itself were also quite upset by. I started playing it in my free time, and I do admit I'm having a bit of fun. I am having fun with it. I changed my character to a completely new one. And I'm having fun with it. I might stream it again sometimes in the near future. I want to get to a point where I can say I'm decently. I don't think Monster Hunter Rise is a game that if I don't stream it all the way through, the context won't make sense. I mean, there is a story there, yes, but how many people actually care? I don't know. This is my first foray into the Monster Hunter series, but I have a sneaking suspicion that most people do not play Monster Hunter for the plot. Some of you might. There's some interesting lore to be had with this, I'm sure. I just don't think the people that do are in the majority. And I don't think anyone's gonna care all that much if I just say, nah, screw the plot, let's just stream us fighting big monsters. I want to get to a point where I can say I'm decent enough at the game, and I understand it enough so that I can play it competently. I'm not worried about people getting frustrated with my playstyle or anything like that. I just wanna be good enough so that I can make interesting commentary while playing. Because I think that might have been like the problem with me streaming Devil May Cry 5, is that while I was enjoying the game and having fun, I wasn't good enough with it that I could, play it unconsciously and commentate at the same time. Something like Fire Emblem is very easy to commentate over because, there's not a lot of action going on screen. I don't have to think too hard or, or concentrate too much. I mean, I still have to think hard about my actions when I'm playing that game. But once I take those actions, it's like, alright, now we can talk about whatever. It's a whole enemy turn that I can wait through before we can do our old thing again. But with Devil May Cry 5, if I'm not focused on the action, then I'm getting curb stomped into oblivion. And I think that's the same thing that's happening in Monster Hunter Rise, because I've been playing it in my off time, and I struggle to not die against the second big monster. So, yeah, that's where I'm at life right now. So yeah, I want to get good I want to get really good at Monster Hunter Rise. So that if and when I do stream it again, I can stream it like a god. Or at the very least, I can stream it and not get curb stomped into oblivion the moment I open my mouth to say something. And even more so that my entire commentary isn't just me raging at how I can't fucking do anything right. As for other games that I'm streaming, I picked Sakura Wars out again this week because even though I had some trouble getting it to work properly on my totally legitimate Sega Saturn that I definitely own and purchased with legal money, I still had fun with it. I think the tactics gameplay in that game is a nice change from regular Fire Emblem. And I do like the characters in that game so far. Plus, there's a lot more to it than just the first chapter that I haven't gotten to. And I really want to show that off. It'd be really cool, also, if, since Sakura Wars isn't all that popular, at least not here in the West, if I stayed loyal to Sakura Wars and showed my appreciation for it, and then it suddenly exploded in popularity because of a new game that came out, and could be there and say, I liked Sakura Wars before it was cool, you all fucking posers. It's an investment. Yeah. It's an investment into my street cred. And just like most investments, this one's probably dead on arrival. Because Sega has yet to take any action or say anything since they released the latest Sakura Wars game. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. Yeah, no, it was last year because I remember picking it up the day before quarantine started because I wanted something to do in the meantime. And I was like, hey, I've heard of this game series before, but I never played it. Let's see what it's all about. Let's bring this down some. But yeah, no, Sega hasn't said anything. And I don't think the new Sakura Wars game sold all that well. I'm surprised we got that in the first place, man. I don't know who was demanding it or why Sega thought it would be a good idea to do that. I guess they saw the success of other anime games that that took inspiration from Sakura Wars and moved on to do great things and said, hey, we kind of invented this shit. Let's try and renew it and bring it over to a more accepting Western audience. And then nobody bought it. Well, I mean, I bought it, but I'm nobody, so... As I go, what you gotta do if you want to get a new if you want to really make Sakura Wars stand out as like a one of your biggest brand game series, is you need to incorporate the stuff that's relevant to today's world into it. That's right, you have to make Sakura Wars Hololive Edition. Am I wrong though? Am I wrong though? Because, like, I think it would fit fine. Hololive is all about idols and actors. They usually come in groups of 5 per generation, which is the amount that you'll normally see in a Sakura Wars game, on average. Actually, no, yeah, no, I shouldn't have brought that down. Leave it there. The whole idea of Sakura Wars is that they are all actors or they all run shows when they're not fighting demons and stuff. I think it would fit just fine. At the very least, you could add some costumes for that. I shouldn't talk so much about that outside of a Sakura Wars stream, though. I should save my conversation topics and totally ingenious pitches that Sega should absolutely use from when we're actually streaming the game. I've been on the torso for a while now. I got really distracted for a while there. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Yeah, we're blazing through it now. The model for line art. 30th time is the charm. Should we leave that? Yeah, actually leave that line there. In fact, actually... I made this a little big. Let's bring this back down a little bit. Oh, don't Minimize the window, no. Okay, there we go. Clean up. I do like being able to edit lines individually instead of having to redraw them over and over again using CSP. It's not ideal. You probably want to be able to do this right without having to edit the lines like that. I wouldn't want to become reliant on it, but it is nice to have. But who knows, maybe that's what all artists will be doing in like 10 years. Just like how math changed over the course of less than a decade because smartphones became a thing, and suddenly everybody has calculators that they can all pull out at any time. Take that, Mrs. Barnaby, from second grade math class. You know who you are. I just made up that name, but you know who you are. My back is starting to kill me. We might have to take a small break soon. My chair doesn't give me good support for being in the same position for long periods of time. Just making a few edits. We don't want these corners to be very sharp because because ribbons rarely, if ever, have sharp corners on them. All right. Mm. All right. Sorry, I'm being really quiet because I'm trying to focus, but also my mind keeps wandering off. I think I'm getting a little bit burned out. My mind tends to wander when I'm drawing in total silence. Like, I'll start thinking about things that have absolutely no relevance to what I'm drawing. Okay. All right. Let's smooth this out a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. All right. Excuse me. My brain has kind of checked out a little bit at this point. We have been drawing for about 3 hours now, and I'm starting to feel it. A little bit. But we're almost done with the line art. Or at the very least, we're almost to a place where we can be considered done. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more main lines that we have to finish. No, wait, fuck. There's a butterfly clip here too. Okay, let's just do this real quick. It's on the top layer, so... Okay. Okay. Just do a little quick fix there. Alright. Then the shirt. This butterfly clip is right on the edge of her shirt right here. Alright. Now we can move on to the remaining lines down here. We're almost there. We're almost to the end of the line art. And if you guys have been watching up till now, thank you very much. I wish I could draw faster and be more energetic. I'm not used to streaming this long. Normally, I'd be wrapping up right about now. Okay. Then we do this line real quick. Next, this line. Line keeps being a bit too thick. There we go, that works. I think that's a good line right there. Okay. Alright. I missed the arm. Hang on. I'm actually just changing it a little bit. It's a last minute change to the pose because I wanted to make it feel a little bit more natural. So instead of like her arms being straight behind her, the right arm would be folded and holding the other arm. And I think that looks a little bit more natural. Do I want to round that out? Nah, I'll leave it as is. And then we'll add some folds to where the strap meets the cloth. erase those lines right there. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good. That's looking real good, actually. Alright, now we just gotta add some folding lines on this. Whoops, that's the eraser. Few over there. And now the hardest thing I think for me to do would be to do this nonsense, these ruffles. I hate this kind of stuff for drawing because I can never get it to look right. And a lot of me, a big part of me, most of me even, wants to just say F it and not even bother with it. But, let's power through. Actually, first, let's make some more adjustments to this ribbon because it's looking a little off compared to where it is, compared to the reference, anyway. I think the ribbon needs to be a bit bigger, and we need to adjust it a little bit more as well. Whoops, don't mean to rotate that. But actually, I kind of do. The way that we should probably do it is make it so that the ribbon is like positioned in such a way that it looks like it's going with the shoulder. Alright. And we're gonna scale that more. Oh, what the... Okay, so don't scale it too much, otherwise it'll just... half of it will just disappear. You know what? Actually, it's not actually all that big. How about, actually, we just, new idea. What if we just... Yeah? Yeah. Actually, nah. Hey, Felipe Augusto, welcome to the stream. I'm kind of dying a little bit because I've been streaming for 3 hours and 17 minutes in the same sitting position trying to do this, and I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit. And my back hurts a lot, but I promised I was going to finish the drawing tonight, and we're going to finish it tonight. No matter what the cost. Even if that cost is my physical health. Pause and stretch a bit. I have been going at this for a while and I am losing my mind, so I am gonna... Hang on. You know what? I am gonna stretch. But I'm gonna leave the mic on so you can hear my stretch action. I'm gonna be... Just give me 1 second. Just let me move to this side over here. Shut up. Oh, that feels... Oh, that's nice. Reach up. High as you can go. And then reach down, touch your toes. drawing it around town. Yeah. Yeah. Does this do something for you, chat? Yeah. Somebody has to be enjoying this. I see you out there. You people who like weird stretch noises. Ugh. Yeah, alright, okay. That feels a lot better. Eh. Alright, now that we're all stretched up, let's finish this line art, shall we? No, I move back over to CSP. So for those of you just joining us, we've gone through this step by step. We have a basic sketch layer for the skeleton line. Then we had the proportion layer. Then we had the detail layer, and now we're on line art. We've kind of gotten all the basic line art finished, so I'm freeforming this one right now because this ribbon is a little bit difficult to like proportion out correctly. Reduce the brush size for the eraser. Alright. Alright. I think this is looking mad nice. let's make this line here a little bit thicker at the end. And now we just add the ribbons at the bottom. Clean up the lines here a bit. And this looks, and I think this looks a lot better than the ribbon that I had drawn earlier. So we'll go with that. It's not perfect, but I think it works for what we want for what we want it to do. And we'll draw a few fold lines. So here's how the art looks right now. And I'd say we're just about onion rings with the line art. We just have to fix the ruffles on this so that, you know, it looks ruffled. And I'm not looking forward to it, but we'll go ahead and do it. I think I remember hearing once that an easy way to handle ruffles is to alternate between having one section going up and one going down. So you see right here we have up, down, up. I forget where I heard it from though. Yeah, that's not looking too bad. Let's finish it up and then do the cleanup on it and then see how it looks afterwards though. We also want some variance in the line length because we don't want them all looking like connecting to the top one. I don't think anyway. Alright. Now let's zoom in. Oop, don't. No, don't delete the layer. All right. Yeah, actually, that looks not bad. Oh, that's the stamp tool. Now we just need to... Yeah, that's... Yeah, I think actually that works out. Now, was there anything I was missing? Oh, I forgot to do, you know what I've been forgetting to do this whole time? I forgot to do flips. To make sure that everything looks correct. And actually, what's the shortcut for this on CSP, actually? I'd love to know. But I think... Hang on, let me... you're making me... I'm not finishing that name. Welcome to the stream. We actually just finished the line art. I was just double checking it for any inconsistencies or things that we might need to change, in case it didn't look quite right. But it, honestly, I think it's looking mad nice. I think we can say this is pretty much done. At the very least, I don't see any obvious problems with it. Yeah. So I guess I'll just go through like the process real quick just to recap where we went from. And I'm going to flip this back over to its original orientation as well. Because, yeah, she's upside down. So, we went from... We started with doing the basic sketches. We planned some sketches out and settled on one. For the posing. Then after deciding the posing, we proportioned out our layers and fixed proportions so that everything went into place where it was supposed to go. And we knew what type of body we were working with. Then we filled in the details on that proportion layer. And finally, we did the line art and details. So we have a finished product. Not bad for about 3.5 hours of work. Honestly speaking, that's probably my personal best in terms of time it's taken me to complete a drawing from start to finish. And I do like how this one turned out, I gotta say. Let's just take this real quick. And normally before I go finish up any piece of line art, I make the background gray. And I take the line art and, this is what I do. Now, hang on. I select the exterior, invert it. Then underneath that layer, I take a color lighter than what I've been using. Or like a very light shade of that. Fill it in on the layer below it. And I set the line art layer to multiply. So that whenever I come back to coloring this in, I have I'm able to do it without having to worry about accidentally forgetting where the white is or anything like that, or like, it's hard for me to explain, but basically it just makes it easier for when I eventually get to the coloring stage. But yeah, that was a full stream of me making a whole new drawing from initial pose sketching to line art. And if you wanted to, you could call this a finished drawing. But, you know, some people do want to do color and stuff like that. So, the next time we do a drawing stream next week, or maybe I'll do a gorilla stream later this week, I don't know. We will tackle coloring, shading, and all that, so that we can get a more finished product. It might not be Ophelia that we work with next time. It could be another drawing. I have a lot of finished line art pieces that are all lined up and need to be colored. So that's gonna be fun. I might do those all together in rapid succession one night. But I think with that, we're going to go ahead and call it here, because my back is killing me. Yeah, you see we have a lot of art here that we need to go through. I'm gonna turn off the display capture as well, because I don't want you guys looking at my desktop, because that's weird. I think that was probably one of our longest streams yet. If we went for another 20 minutes or so, we would have hit 4 hours, and that would easily be our longest stream yet. I don't know how I feel about streaming for such long periods of time, but it does get kind of exhausting. This chair that I'm sitting on, that I sit in during all of our streams, it doesn't really provide great support for my lower back, so I don't think I can keep doing big, long streams like this consistently. Not until I get a new chair, anyway. But I do want to thank you all, everybody who joined us for tonight's stream. We had quite a few people join us who came in to say hi. If you only came in for a little bit just to see how we were doing, thank you. If you stayed and watched from beginning to end, thank you. If you watched the VOD from beginning to end, thank you. If you're trying to clip something, please do. I'd love to see it. But yeah, if you want to know when we're streaming next, check out my Twitter profile. You can see the link to this in the description down below. Tomorrow, I believe we have... Was it Fire Emblem or Sakura Wars? I forget. Hang on. Oh, yeah, no, it's Sakura Wars. We're doing Sakura Wars tomorrow. We finished Chapter 1 of Sakura Wars last week. But losing my mind a little bit. And we'll be starting Chapter 2 tomorrow. So definitely come and check that out. It's a really fun game, and I hope that I can share how enjoyable of an experience it is with all of you. And one more time, definitely go follow Ophelia Spectre on Twitter. She's debuting on April 20th. Yes, 420. Look forward to it. One more time, thank you all for watching. It's time for us to get going. Make sure you all have nutty dreams tonight. Jasper Focia signing out. Have a good night. Bye.